No one is perfect, so mistakes are going to happen in our lives. Sometimes these bad decisions can lead to criminal charges. The team at JansenAlfrey is ready to help you if you make the mistake of drinking and driving. JansenAlfrey, attorneys at law, are members of the Colorado and Denver Bar Association. They belong to the Colorado Criminal Defense Bar and the National Association of DUI Defense Attorneys, and they have no complaints registered with the Better Business Bureau. Molly Jansen and Kurt Alfrey are joining us today. Thank you both for being here.
Good morning.
Hi.
Now, you guys always preach to our viewers and to all your clients too, if you're going to drink, don't drive.
Right.
Still, people make a mistake. So let's talk about, if people do make a mistake, what is the first thing that they should do?
Well, they should probably get an attorney, and not just because I am an attorney, but there are so many consequences that you are facing with your driver's license, with your liberty. It can be very expensive. You really need to have someone that knows what they're doing in the process of DUI. Not all attorneys handle DUIs, and we're both members of the National College of DUI Defense, and it's important to get someone on board that can look at the case and make sure that your rights weren't violated along the way.
Yeah, and understand. So it shouldn't just be a friend attorney. It needs to really be someone that specializes in this, because there's a lot of tricks to the trade.
And we get calls like that all the time. Somebody will call me up and say, oh, I hired my family attorney who does bankruptcy.
Right.
And they don't know what to do with the Department of Motor Vehicle hearing. And I say, you need to think about getting different counsel. That's why we go to all of these trainings. That's why we try all of these cases every year. And we spend our time making sure that we know the ins and outs of it so that we can go to court and make sure that we can find everything possible that we can to mitigate your case.
Yeah, and the laws are always changing too.
Constantly.
So you have to be up on it.
Absolutely. Right. And the way that the DMV works and the court work, it doesn't make sense. And so for a lot of people, they don't realize that they're separate entities and that they're not moving on the same track and that they don't have a lot to do with one another. And so people get tripped up, and then we get the call, oh, I lost my license at DMV. Can I go to court and beat my case and then I'll get my license back? And the answer is no, that's not how it works. And so now you have to sort of start over and reinvent the wheel.
Well, let's talk about the difference between what a DUI is and a DUI per se.
There are a number of different drinking and driving laws in Colorado. I mean, there's the DUI, which is driving intoxicated. There's driving while ability impaired. I've always thought it's the difference between drunk and tipsy, if you will, but they're both against the law. And then there's also driving with a blood alcohol content of over 0.08, and that carries the same penalties as a DUI, essentially. And it's something that really can be challenged, and actually Molly did successfully in federal court this week, beat one of those charges, because there's a lot of things that have to go into the blood test to make sure it's done correctly. And frankly, Molly was able to find some holes in the case.
So from what I'm hearing, then it sounds like, again, get a good experienced attorney, and don't wait, because things are moving quickly. And like you said, you've got the DMV, and then you have the criminal charges also.
I think waiting is one of the biggest mistakes, because you only have so much time from the time that you get the ticket. If you take a breath test or you refuse a test, blood is a different story, but you only have 7 days, including weekends and holidays, to go and request this hearing. And a lot of people blow that. They don't understand what the express consent affidavit means. They don't understand what it's telling them to do and what their rights are. And so they sort of take it as, oh, well, the cop said he took my license, therefore he took my license. And officers don't have the jurisdiction to take your driver's license.
Right.
The DMV does. And so if you forego that hearing, you've basically said, okay, cop, thank you for taking my license. Thank you, DMV, I'm done here. Now I'm going to go deal with this in court. And that is something that you can avoid. All
right. What about the old, saying that's out there, I can drink 1 beer an hour or 1 drink an hour and still be okay? Is that just a
Please
myth?
stop looking at those calculators.
Yeah, don't do that.
Stop doing that.
Okay, yeah, so really, if you're going to even have 1 drink, just don't drive.
My view is don't have anything to drink. The minute an officer smells alcohol on your breath, you are now in the throes of an investigation for DUI or DWAI. That is what they're trained to do, is to make sure that you are a safe driver. And when they smell alcohol, immediately that officer's saying, not a safe driver, potentially a drunk driver, and they get things rolling pretty quickly. So just don't do it.
Yeah, okay, again, as you always say, if you're going to drink, don't drive.
Right.
And that's the lesson that we must keep on passing on. So thank you both for being here. Certainly appreciate it. I'm going to tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you.
Thanks.
JansenAlfrey wants to ensure that you're represented fairly and informed about the charges against you before you make a bad decision. They're a criminal defense law firm, and they handle everything from traffic offenses to domestic violence to DUI to major felonies. Call them at 303-297-3500 or visit their website at JansenAlfrey.com. They offer free consultations. The number again is 303-297-3500.